Hello, and welcome to this learning session regarding billing assignments and client invoices on the Client Billing Portal. This video will include how to log into the portal, directions on how to resolve billing assignments, and reviewing client invoices. First, to log into the Client Billing Portal, from our homepage hnl.com, select the Provider Portal icon located at the top left of your screen. Scroll down and click on the icon labeled Client Billing Portal. This will bring you to the login page where you can enter your credentials. Once you are logged in, click on the Billing Assignment tab. This screen will indicate how many sessions need to be reviewed. If you are assigned to multiple sites as shown, you must select the client ID for the sites you wish to work on. For clients who have this tab enabled, you will review the section labeled Unassigned Sessions. We provide the date of service, which is when the lab work was processed by HNL Lab Medicine, the patient name, their date of birth, and the tests that were done. For these accounts labeled unassigned, you will make a selection to either bill facility, which will force the charge to your invoice, or bill patient insurance. For patients who are in a nursing facility and are enrolled in a Part A inpatient stay, meaning your facility will bill inpatient services, choose facility. Sessions in the Billing Assignment tab will be available through the end of each calendar month. If a selection is not made, the session will default to facility and you will be invoiced for the charge. To avoid being invoiced incorrectly, please check the Billing Assignment tab once a week and make the appropriate selection. Now let's look at the Client Invoices tab. This landing page will provide a brief breakdown of balances due. If you have access to multiple sites as shown, select the client ID first. By default, the portal will show you 1 year's worth of invoices. If you need to see older invoices, simply change the From date and click on Get Data. The page will then refresh with those older invoices. In the Previous Invoices section, let's look first at the invoice date, different statement types, and the View Invoices column. In this example, we have just one invoice for 9/30/25. The statement type says Standard, which is the original statement. Under View Invoice column, we see there is an availability to open in either Excel or PDF version. We'll talk about this last icon in a minute. For invoice dates 8/31/25, there are 3 invoice lines. The first is a standard type, which again is your original statement. This too has the access for both Excel and PDF. The next 2 invoice lines show statement type reconciliation. The difference between a standard and reconciliation type is the reconciliation invoice will include any adjustments that were needed. Note under View Invoice column for the reconciliation invoices, One line gives you access to a PDF, and the other line gives you access to Excel. In this case, the content in both reconciliation invoices are the same, the only difference being the formats in which it opens. Let's take a closer look at the August standard invoice. I will click on the PDF version for review. There are column headers to describe the content of those columns. I have highlighted the first patient information. Note there is a subtotal underneath the charge column for each patient. Here is the second patient, and here is a third. Notes for the standard invoice, the balance due at the bottom is showing $445.40. Note also that the credits column is empty for this invoice. I will close this invoice now to compare to the reconciliation invoice. Click the X to close. Let's look at the reconciliation invoice for August, and I want to choose the PDF format for comparison. Notice how at the beginning of this invoice, there is an amount in the credit column. This credit identifies which account number the credit is for. In this case, the 3721 under the charge column has been credited. The balance on this reconciled invoice now shows as 408.19 instead of the 445.40 we saw on the original standard invoice. I'll close this invoice to continue. When an invoice is not paid in its entirety, you will see that unpaid invoice being referenced on future invoices. I will open the September standard invoice in PDF format now. The previous unpaid invoice is listed first, which is the 445.40 balance on the standard August invoice. It is followed by any credits, in this case 3721 from the reconciled August invoice. Underneath are any current statement activity. For any accounts number that ends with XM as shown, these will require a supporting diagnosis for the test to be removed from the invoice. At the bottom of the invoice will show a total amount due, followed by a breakdown of how overdue are the balances. Here we see 536.04 total amount due. Of that, 408.19 is past due by 30 days, and 127.85 is just the current invoice. If there are any disputes on the invoice, you may submit those directly into the portal. I will close this invoice first to demonstrate. In the View Invoice column, the last icon is an interactive invoice. When you click this icon for the September invoice, it will bring up only the current charges for the September invoice. If you wish to review any charges from a previous invoice and dispute those, you must select the appropriate invoice and dispute those there. I will open the interactive invoice for September 1st. This will bring up the September invoice charges. Remember, any accession ending in XM must include a supporting diagnosis code. To dispute this charge, click on the accession number. From the drop-down, choose Other Dispute, then click Submit. This allows you to add information in the Additional Comments section. When you are ready to submit, hit Save. For the next patient, I will instead choose the Bill Insurance from the drop-down menu. Then click Submit. When adding insurance, please make sure that the insurance is active for the date of service shown. In the Bill Insurance column, type in the name of the insurance you wish to add. Then choose it from the drop-down menu. This next page allows you to edit the information and provide details as needed. In this case, it is requesting first and last name as well as the subscriber ID. Click Save when you are ready. Submitting disputes directly onto the portal will remove that charge automatically from the invoice. If the information provided was not sufficient or valid, the charge can be added to a future invoice. We encourage our clients to log into the portal at least once a week to submit any invoice disputes and complete their billing assignments in a timely manner. If you are having issues logging into the portal or have questions, please contact us at HNL Client Billing at hnl.com. This concludes this training session on billing assignments and invoices.